We've spent hundreds of years developing and refining the same process, but that doesn't mean that we're done creating. I think that my curiosity is leading me to influence where the future of bourbon is headed. My name is Marianne Eaves. I was the first female master distiller in the state of Kentucky, and I am now a spirits consultant for the industry across the US. For me, R&D is not just about all the crazy creative innovation. It's also about the quality and the consistency and the customization. It really kind of ties everything together because you're looking at the plant holistically, from like, is my pipe diameter the right size to am I using an appropriate yeast for the mash bill that I've created? Or, if I run the temperature and the distillation a little bit differently, how does that impact the flavor? And if I source the wood from a different place to assemble these barrels, what aspects of the character am I changing?
We're seeing a lot of different changes in fermentation, the amount of time it takes to ferment, the temperatures that we ferment at. You don't have to reach a boiling point, I mean, back in the old days, whenever you're cooking in the woods and you may or may not even had a thermometer, back then, and you're using boiling as your gauge of temperature. So, these days we have all these different parts of the process. The distiller's yeast has kind of been figured out by the companies who do that. Saccharomyces cerevisiae, that's the genus and the species of the yeast that's used to make bourbon whiskey and other whiskeys. But there are a lot of other yeast genera that are capable of making really good alcohol.
So in Tennessee, we're allowed to have a full bar, but you have to make every drop of alcohol that goes into the cocktail. So I can't just go and buy Campari. I can't go buy Fernet Branca. We have to make all of those in-house in order to use them. So our R&D was learning how to make Amaros and a Campari-like spirit and Aquavit and absinthe, and that's our R&D. Is we get to test it out at the bar.
To me, I see R&D in a large part being part of cultivating an environment, a positive environment for your employees and for your team, so they feel like they're part of something that's really special. We actually went as far as, I went to Jerez de la Frontera in Spain and researched sherry and visited a number of bodegas and brought back lots of samples and started tinkering with a proprietary blend using sourced whiskey from Indiana. We used light corn whiskey, we used bourbon, we sourced straight rye from Canada and added just a small amount of a 15-year Oloroso sherry to come up with this proprietary recipe that really is the result is very distinctive and it's 100% its own.
I think we have at any given time probably 20 or 30 innovation. I don't know if I call them innovation. I guess we have to now. To me, they're just things we're playing around with. And another thing I'm really enjoying doing is I've got 4 of the 6 boys are in the company now, and I've let them pick their own innovation projects, or if they come with an idea that they think is fun, I'm like, that's fine, do it.
So it's a ton of fun. I was listening to Ryan talking about going to Spain to pick out the ingredients for his whiskey, and I'm like, well, that sounds fun, yeah.
Let's go to Spain and call it R&D.
I know, right?